Hey, hey, hey. This is your girl, Dr. T. It is Girl Talk. Hello, hello, hello. It's Girl Talk time. Let's go. I don't have a guest with me, but I want to just come to you today and just to be help you to be encouraged. This is your girl, Dr. TOD. I am the founder and creator of Sustain Your Biz Academy, and I am here this evening to talk about um, some things that we kind of go through about being uncertain and or unsure. So I use the word unsure because I think that that is a very, very powerful word. So why am I talking about this? I am a sustainable business coach, personal coach, and I wanted to come on because there are times when in our lives that we are unsure. Your girl, Dr. T, as well, that we sometimes have uncertainties in our lives. And we don't know how to really deal with that all the time, you know? And so this is what Girl Talk is going to talk about today. I want to help you through any uncertainties that are going on in your life. And these tips may help you with mostly every aspect that you can. So let me know who's watching. Tell me who's watching. Say hey, say what's up. It's time for Girl Talk. Post in here what you want to post. I want to hear from you because I think it is important. Listen, I've been in practice over 22 years. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and sometimes we are going on these journeys and we need to be sure about what we're doing. And sometimes we get into a rut of what I call uncertainty, that we know our vision, we know where we want to go, but something is in us and we get what? Unsure. So let me just read a little bit. When I do my talks, I really try to make sure that I do all my research and have everything laid out for you so that we can have a smooth process. Today was just an amazing day with my Moneymaker group. If you're interested in being in that group, go to Moneymakers, let them know I sent you and put Dr. T sent you in there. It's an amazing membership. It's Christian women entrepreneurs that are really working together. So let me talk about unsure. Unsure of oneself is the lacking confidence in one's ability. And what happens in times when we are going through stuff, we know that we have the vision, but sometimes we get to that self-doubting, self-loathing, self-reflection, but then that self-reflection leads to can I really do this? And your girl Dr. T is in there too. So for example, I have a women's empowerment conference coming up. And yeah, I feel a little bit uncertain right now on whether or not anybody wants to come, but I'm going to still forge through, and I want you to go to it, and I want you to be a part of it. It's going to be amazing. But I also want you to subscribe to the Academy and opt in for the emails so that you can hear more about what's going on with Dr. T, what's going on with Mad is My Biz. And there may be some topics that you want to talk about, and you can email me and I'll have it ready for you. If it's not me, I will get somebody else to come on. But the thing about it is that when you are unsure, it's okay, but you just don't want to get stuck in there. So when you're unsure, you want to be real with yourself. You want to understand that you want to honor yourself, and you want to honor your truth, and you want to be real. Okay. So sometimes we don't understand what's going on about our uncertainty, and we tend to shy away or not be honest about what's going on. And sometimes you might need to be honest about what's going on. And that is where a sustainable business coach or sustainable coach comes in, where you can have that conversation with your coach about how you're feeling, right? And how you can get over that hump. Remember, last week I talked about I think I can. And so that's where we are when we talk about being uncertain and being unsure. Okay, so that's what unsure of oneself is, like the lacking of oneself, the lacking of your ability. Listen, I know you have the capabilities of doing what you're supposed to be doing, because you wouldn't be doing it, right? You wouldn't be doing it. You wouldn't be here in this moment and doing what you need to be doing, right? So let me ask the question, because these are the questions that I asked before. When you can accept things in life, including you and others, you find ways to take control. When you are in control, it helps you to see how you can improve your personal life. When you learn to accept, you will learn to discover who? You. So sometimes we get stuck in our uncertainty or being unsure when we're still discovering ourselves. And as we mature in life, we are at different phases of our lives. And so when we are doing this, you are now embarking maybe on a new road or a new career, or like with what's going on in our time, you may have lost your job. You have to look for another job. You're not sure of what's going on. And I have to say that sometimes it's in our own minds that we are thinking that everybody else is thinking about us, and that is not the case. Everyone has their own way of doing things. Everyone has their own way on which they move forward. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and it may not even be your way, right? It may not be your way. So sometimes we get so caught up in what other people are doing that embodies our uncertainty, that brings in our inability to know where we're going. You know, we're looking at other things, and the biggest critic lives in our own perception of how people are perceiving us, not people's perception of you. So sometimes we are unsure of our own selves because we think that other people are looking at us in a different light. If you are liking what I'm talking about today, type in the comment, hey, what's going on? You know, I'm loving this. It's adding some value to you, you know, about some of the insecurities that you may have or the uncertainties that you may have. And listen, I know that there's been a time in many of our lives, you know, I would say even with optometry school for myself, I was unsure of whether or not, you know, this was going to work. I was unsure of, you know, how is this going to be in my life? Am I going to be a great doctor? Or, you know, am I going to be able to pass through it? If for any of my college students that are watching, maybe, you know, how can I get through this time? Excuse me, guys. How can I get through this time? And we definitely, it's not uncommon to have uncertainties. It's actually common. So you need to be aware of that factor, that it is common for you to have uncertainties in your life. But don't get stuck there. I don't want you to get stuck there. So type in a comment anything that you want to talk about. It is Girl Talk, and I don't have anybody on, so it's just you and I tonight. It's just you and I talking about being uncertain, being you know, insecure about where you're going. Because I know I've been there. So I know I've been there, you know, being uncertain, not sure of, you know, where you want to go, especially in this time. You know, we're living in a time where you may have to stay home with the kids or work from home, and you're just not sure on what's going on. This whole COVID-19 really just kind of did a topsy-turvy on a lot of us, and we're just not sure on, you know, where we have. But a lot of times we get into our own heads about stuff, and we then become uncertain about where we're going to go. So the one thing that we already talked about is, honor your own truth, right? Honor your own truth, honor yourself, be respectful of your feelings, be respectful of your own self. And, maybe a little self-care might be in line, meditate or seek counseling or seek a therapist or something like that, that might be able to, help you move past some of the things that you may be uncertain about. And again, stop looking at other people, because looking at other people can really pour into what you're feeling. And you may reach a point where you're not going to move forward in your business, in your life, and it may just stop you from really, really moving where you need to be. Okay, so now that we've gotten that, then the next thing is of being unsure is, because I'm not sure about these lights. Here we go. The next thing about being unsure is that it can really put you in a dark place, and I don't want you to be in that place. So if you are in a dark place right now, you really need to possibly, I'm not a therapist, I'm just a coach. So you may want to now talk about maybe going to therapy, and it's okay. I had a conversation earlier today with someone, and we talked about the negative thoughts that are in people, or the stigma, I would say, in the African American community, that going to a therapist makes us crazy. No, you're not crazy, but you might need to do that. You might need to seek counsel. Now, I'm a coach, so I'm not going to be that therapist, but I then can help you to move toward a therapist possibly. But as a business coach and a personal coach, it's all about developing you and where you want to be, and not literally try to be a psychotherapist in a sense. So if you need to see a psychotherapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, that might be something that you need to do, especially if you're stuck in a place of a true uncertainty and where you want to go. And so don't be afraid to do that. And that's what I'm talking about, being real. Because sometimes we fail to be real with ourselves, and then we don't move forward and we stay in there. I don't want you to stay in the place of uncertainty. I want you to be moved and be where your vision wants you to be, right? And put you where your vision, where you see yourself to be. And a lot of times it's our heads. So what does a therapist do? They help us in our heads. So you need to make sure that you are seeking that if you're going into that, especially if you haven't moved or shifted in this time since COVID, or maybe something disastrous really happened in your life and you really don't know how to cope with the uncertainty. You might want to seek some professional help. Again, the disclaimer here is that I'm just a professional and personal coach, but if you are in a place of true uncertainty, you may want to seek a therapist, right? So, but the other part of maybe being around people that are really going to lift you up. And that's, some of the groups, like I know with Moneymakers Club, we're a group of women that, on Facebook, that are really encouraging one another, really uplifting one another. Or maybe it's a place where you go at church. Maybe there's a women's group at church, or a small group. I know we have small groups at our church. Maybe there is something that you need to just do, or maybe you need to take a hobby or try to figure another way out, just to kind of get over some of the uncertainty. And that also takes your mind off of being uncertain, right? That of being insecure. So we talked about, some of the things that you can do as far as, helping you with your insecurities and being uncertain. If this is added value, put value in there. If let me know who's on, say hey, because this is girl talk, and we're talking about our insecurities as women. Say hey, what's going on? What are you insecure about? Are you insecure about your job? Are you insecure about how to manage your day-to-day life right now? Maybe your children at home and you have to work at home, and it's just a whole bunch. It's like you're living in a tornado or a hurricane. What are you uncertain about? Talk to me, because this is girl talk. So yeah, so once you kind of delve and be real with yourself, like I said, you may need to seek a therapist. And we talked about that a couple of times today. It just so happened that it came up, and I had a totally different topic that I wanted to talk about, but I really wanted to talk about this because I think that you may want to hear that if you're uncertain, that there are ways that, there are things that you can do. I may go back and post some national hotlines that you may want to go into, or just have a chat with, about seeking therapy, seeking advice. Maybe, like I said, going to your church or your religious institution to be able to seek some help or some therapy. Okay. And again, maybe some self-care. Maybe, I know we're living in a time where we probably can't get out, but maybe a massage, or maybe go and get some beauty supplies from one of the chains and just do a facial. I know that you can also go on to the academy. I started a facial line, so you can also go there and get your nice facial creams, or just go into Messenger and message me. I'll send you a link, to just really cleanse your skin, or drink more water, whatever you want to do. But I want you to get out of being uncertain. And it's okay to not know all the answers. It's okay to not be 100% focused on what you want to do. But I want you to make sure that I want you to be you and be real about what you are feeling in this moment of being unsure. So, for example, I'm really unsure about, what's coming. I've put things in place. I've put systems in place. I have a sustainable business model that, yes, I believe will continue to sustain me. But it's scary times that we're living in. And you may feel that same uncertainty or unsure about where you want to be. So how do you reflect? How do you take that back? You take control of that. You be real with yourself. Remember I said about having that courage. What did I talk about with that courage? Let me see. I gotta go back to that. So basically we talked about probably last month. I'll probably post some pictures about being courageous again, but all dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. So when we're pursuing our career paths or our dreams, there are times when we are uncertain because things are just, the boxes are no longer checking off as they were. How are you going to get through this economic hardship? How are you going to get through personal life in your home? How are you going to do that? And you're going to stand. You're going to stand on his word. You're going to stand on the truth that you will be able to get through it, right? You will be able to get through it. Again, talk to me. This is Girl Talk. What's going on? Talk to me. Talk to me. What's going on? So I'm reminded of, some things that, you may want to, just look at, about sustainability. I think the Bible has plenty of verses that I can go through here. But the one is, Psalms 119, 116, sustain me as you promise, and I will live. Do not let me be ashamed of my hope, right? And that is Psalms 119, 116, right? So, and, you might be having grief. You might be going through some things right now. Psalms 119:28. I collapse from grief. Sustain me in your word. So go to the things that are going to help you to get through some unsure times. These are unsure times that we're living in, right? Psalms 119:117. Sustain me so that I can be safe and always be concerned about your statutes. Sustain me, God. What is it that you're doing to get you out of, some things that can get you over that hump, right? So again, be honest with yourself, trust in yourself, honor yourself, right? Really believe in yourself. Um, um, Take a little time of focus on your self-care, right? I read Psalms 119. Actually, I read Psalms 119 probably about at the beginning of COVID. Let me tell you, I read all of Psalms 119, and that thing had me crying all the way through. So in Psalms 119, 116, that has that whole thing. And then you have Psalms 119, Psalms 119, 28. So if you're going through grief or anything like that right now, these are some of the things that you can do in order to push you forward in some of that uncertainty. Okay. So everyone has their own way of doing things. Everyone has their own way of coping. Everyone has their own way of doing things. Stop looking at other people and the way that they're doing things. Do it your way. You are you. That's it. You are you. And your greatest beauty is completely out of sight in shallow social interaction. So sometimes your inner self is going to help you to, you have to dig deep within your inner self to really bring out that with you, right? And again, everyone has their own way, which has nothing to do with you. Remember that. And I keep saying you because you are the most important thing when you're talking about being unsure, because everybody isn't going to do the things that you do, and they're not going to do what you do. And I'll go back to what I read before. Okay. That individuality is personal. And that is who you are and what you are made of. And when you can accept things in life, including you and others, you find ways to take control. When you are in control, it takes you to see how you can improve your personal life when you learn to accept you and learn to discover who you. I'm going to end with that, because I think that is where, is the focus. This is where you need to be, just to rediscovering yourself, rediscovering you. And we'll continue this conversation. I kind of got deep tonight because today was heavy from this morning till now. I've had conversation about inner being, inner self, and taking control over lives today, that I wanted to share this with you because I think somebody needs to hear this. So at Sustain Your Business Academy, we are really here to make sure that we can push you through. I do have the hard conversations. Yes, as a sustainable business coach, I'm going to ask you those questions. I have the 12 questions that I need to ask you, and I will ask you those questions so that we can help you move forward, to catapult you into a whole new season of your life, and to be able to market yourself where you can be the best you possible. Okay. So what do I want you to do in this season, and why I created Sustain Your Business Academy? And you will see some more about how we work to make sure that women that are in health and wellness, because if you are in health and wellness, you also have to be healthy yourself. And if you are seeking any mental health problems, seek out a therapist. You can inbox me. I can see if I can help you if you're in the state of Pennsylvania or New Jersey. And just, be able to, take care of those things in your life. You can seek, your somebody at church, like your pastor or anything of that nature, to be able to help you with some of the insecurities. And the other thing is just trusting in yourself and to just spending time with yourself, self-love, self-care, so that you can move forward. This is your girl, Dr. T. And what do I want you to do? I want you to win in this season. What does winning mean? Welcoming in the new you, investing in yourself, and what? Never, ever, ever give up on you. Be blessed.